babalik po tayo sa ating PTV Special Forum on the Tension ng Zamboanga. Simulan ko na sa tanong kay Secretary Sadain. Sec, nabalitaan nyo nga po ngayon na bumaba ang kumpiyansa ng mga tao sa peace agreement base sa huling SWS survey. What do you think are the roadblocks at anong magiging estado nito given that natapos na yung krisis sa Zamboanga?
Okay. Magandang tanong po yan. Una siguro dapat ma-realize natin na dalawang kampo ang pinag-uusapan dito. Merong MNLF at merong MILF. Itong dalawa po, magkasama ito dati. Ngayon, sometime in the 70s, naghiwalay sila. Lumakas ang MILF, tapos ang MN naman nakipagnegosasyon siya sa gobyerno. Ang kinalabasan po ng negosasyon na yan ay yung Final Peace Agreement na pinirma noong 1996. This was signed by Chairman Nur Miswari. Ang MI, hindi po sila kasama dyan. Tumitingin lang sila from the sidelines. Pero habang ini-implement po yan, po nung negotiation naman with the MI, na kinokontrol naman nila yung Central Mindanao, na malaking puwersa rin. Siyempre, ang posisyon ng gobyerno, even before the Aquino administration, was to talk to all armed groups, na especially MN and MI. So dalawang tracks po ang tumatakbo dyan. One yung sa MNLF, which is the review of the Final Peace Agreement. Ang sa MI naman, yung current peace talks na ginagawa natin ngayon. I sit as an ex-officio member of the peace panel with the MILF ngayon. So may nagtanong po sa amin kahapon kung ano talagang tingin namin sa setback sa peace. Sabi namin, probably nagkaroon nga ng setback sa peace effort and the confidence building measure na ginagawa natin sa Zamboanga City. Pero yung peace talks with the MILF would push through. Wala pong setback dyan. That's a different track. Pero ito po ngayon ang masaya dito. Ito yung parang hindi natin nakikita masyado. Somewhere along the line, dapat mag-converge po yung dalawang yan. Kasi ang pinag-uusapan natin ay isang lugar. Isang lugar lang po yan. Yan po yung Muslim-dominated provinces na nasa ARMM. So, yun po siguro ang masasabi natin. Eventually, lahat ng concerns bali ng MI at MN should be taken into consideration and put into the of the basic law. Yan po yung tinatawag nating Organic Act that will take the place of Republic Act 1954 na yan yung organic law ngayon na nagtatayo ng ARMM.
Kaya Gio, kailangan talaga yung mga moral statesmen dahil sinubukan na sa Libya, sinubukan ng Indonesia, sinubukan ng Central Council, medyo nahirapan. Back to you.
Oo nga, Attorney Mark. Gusto ko rin tanungin si Dean Wadi ukol dito. Dean, anong pagkakaiba nitong agreement ngayon kumpara sa Tripoli Agreement na naganap dati at vis-a-vis narinig natin ang panig ng gobyerno through Secretary Deles at ang sa pagtapos ng tensyon nitong mga hinaing ni Chairman Miswari?
Well, ang unang-una ang pagkakaiba sa tingin natin, yung framework agreement basically takes off from previous agreements like Tripoli Agreement 1976, including the 1996 Peace Agreement. So, yung advantage ng framework agreement, an agreement signed between the government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Ang irony lang, while the framework agreement takes into account many of the provisions in the Tripoli Agreement, in the 1996 Peace Agreement, hindi ganun katingin ko kasigasig ang gobyerno para makuha yung loob, masama sa proseso, yung mismong signatory doon sa Tripoli Agreement and the 1996 Peace Agreement, which is the MNLF. And the major signatory for those two agreements is Nur Miswari. Well, may peace review, yung sinasabing kanina ni Secretary Sadain. But then, tingin ko, nahinto ito noong sumulat ang Department of Foreign Affairs ng allegedly ng dalawang note verbal sa Organization of Islamic Cooperation kung saan member o mayroong observer status ang MNLF na gusto nang i-terminate ng gobyerno yung peace review at parang nagpropose siya na palitan na ang pagka-observer status ng MNLF sa OIC. Gustong i-terminate yung peace review pero itutuloy yung peace process. tingin ko doon medyo nagbago yung pagtingin ni Nur Miswari kasi pwede naman pag-usapan yun sa
Din,
negotiating table.
Masingit ko lang yung question na ito din.
Yes,
Kasi
yes.
hindi po ba ginawa yun dahil the government had to make a judgment call because there was an effort to organize a central committee. Nur Miswari would refuse to be part of it. They invited Nur Miswari to the initial negotiating table with the MILF. He refused it. So ibig sabihin, kung nag-central committee na ayaw niyang sumali within the MNLF Central Committee, hindi ba problema yun na talagang siya pa rin yung nakaupo doon?
Tingin natin, Mark, kung ganun kaagad ang approach ng government, i-invite yung si Nur Miswari mismo doon sa paghuhulma ng framework agreement o yung peace process with the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, tingin natin immature yun. Hindi pa premature, hindi pa napapanahon. Kaya ang nangyari sana, dahil inuhulma ngayon yung framework agreement, dahil ibubuin pa naman siya by 2016 yung Bangsamoro Political Entity, na nayagan ituloy yung peace review dahil may hininging additional demand ang MNLF na wealth sharing, provisional government at saka yung plebiscite in accordance with the Tripoli Agreement. Ang sinasabi natin, Mark, kung sanang itinuloy yun at pinayagan mag-usap yung dalawa, no? Napag-usapan yung political entity, then you have provisional government, then the government should have facilitated the conversation between the two. In other words, the government should not only act as negotiator, but even as facilitator to the two fronts. Tingin ko, yun na sana yung process. Mararamdaman ng MNLF na part siya ng process.
Was this not done, Secretary?
Katulad nga ng sinabi ko sa inyo, at this stage, the track is review of the final peace agreement with the MNLF. No? And then the other one is concluding the peace treaty with the MILF. Okay. Ngayon, yung sinasabing convergence na yan, inutos din yan ng OIC. Sabi na ng OIC, dapat magsama kayo. And there were several attempts actually na magsama yan. They had meetings, they had conferences in Davao. But it seems na merong isang tao dyan na intransigent. So hindi gumagalaw, walang In fact, nung nagtayo po ang gobyerno ng Transition Commission, ito po yung commission na babalangkas nung proposed organic law, no, na ipapasa sa Kongreso. Isa po sa mga islas doon ay ibibigay supposed to be sa MNLF. Hindi po nagpadala ang MNLF ng kanilang representative. Not the Miswari faction, not the SEMA faction.
Okay. Gio?
Maraming salamat. Dean, on a final question bago ko balik kila Attorney Mark. Ngayon na nangyari na ito, ngayon na may contemplation ng pagkaso ulit ng rebellion kay Chairman Miswari, do you think he still deserves a seat at the table on the peace agreement? Yes or no, and why?
Alam mo, that is a highly political question. And that is, I think, it's a question that I think the National Security Council or even the Office of the President should really address very seriously, because the implication is such that if you will push to the sideline Nur Miswari, then blanco ngayon na magiging ang peace process, yung second track na sinasabi ni Secretary Tesdain. Although, baka pwedeng ituloy sa mga ibang MNLF factions. Ang problema ron is that wala namang puwersa. In other words, they are not the legitimate representative recognized even by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. So, kakayanin ba na hindi mo itutuloy yung peace process with the Moro National Liberation Front? At ang mangyayari niyan ay magre-strengthen yung MNLF group ng kanilang puwersa. At maaring, hindi natin alam because very unpredictable kasi makipagbakbakan sa ganyang klaseng guerrilla warfare. Di natin alam kung kailan titira ulit, kailang atake ulit. So, malaki yung pangamba na maaring baka may another Zamboanga na pwedeng mangyari. At tingin ko, Mark, I think important ito, kahit sino namang sigurong presidente, gusto niyang matatapos ang kanyang termino maayos. At it's not marred, his presidency is not marred by violence and bloodshed, and he would like to leave a legacy. No, tingin ko kung ngayon, no, na hindi kakausapin si Nur Miswari, baka nga magtuloy-tuloy yung mga skirmishes at magdudulot lang yan ng pangamba at yung mga problema dyan sa Mindanao. So tingin natin talaga, dapat isubject ito to a very critical and objective decision ng National Security Council at mismo yung Office of the President.
Which leads us, Cathy, to the question. Kasi, Colonel, ang sabi natin, na mission accomplished na ito, Colonel Zagala. Paano ito magiging mission accomplished kung hindi natin alam kung gaano karami ang kalaban natin, kung sino talagang kalaban natin? The first forum that we had on the Zamboanga tension, hindi pa alam kung sino talagang kalaban natin. Ngayon po ba na-determine na papatalaga natin kung sino ang ating kalaban para masabi natin with finality na tapos na nga yung giyera at tapos na itong ating mga kalaban?
And to add to that, hindi pa tapos yung pinaglalaban nila eh. It was not settled. This happened because of a cause. So sa tingin niyo po ba may posibilidad na maulit pa ito?
To begin with, we are looking at what happened in Zamboanga City. We are not in we're in armed forces. We follow rule, our commander-in-chief. We follow all the civilian supremacy over the military. Ang naging trabaho natin dito sa Zamboanga ay to remove the armed aggression. If they have political goals, if they have grievances and the like, they should not have brought violence to Zamboanga City.
Right.
We are not against the MNLF, the Armed Forces of the Philippines. We're not against the MNLF as an organization. We're against the people who try to occupy Zamboanga City, took hostages, tried to hoist their flag. That's unacceptable for us. There is only one legitimate armed forces in this country, and that is the Armed Forces of the Philippines. We cannot allow another armed force to come in one of our major cities and raise their flag.
But let me just interject, Colonel. Pero while that was happening, meron din nangyari sa Basilan. Hindi po ba yun konektado dun sa pangyayaring yun?
Nagkaroon tayo ng assessment of what happened sa Zamboanga City, and we recognize the possibility that there will be other areas that will be attacked. And we set into motion our contingencies. We had in Sulu, we had in... And yes, there was an attack in Basilan 3 times. And all 3 times they failed.
That's right.
So, even in other areas, not related, in North Cotabato, in Midsayap, the BIFF took the opportunity thinking that the Armed Force of the Philippines is busy in Zamboanga. But our force structure is distributed to all our areas of interest, where we will be able to answer any threat anywhere in the country that needs to be addressed. And we did that. All the while, people think na hindi kami ready we were ready. We were ready in Basilan, we were ready anywhere. Basta meron kaming area of interest, area of operations, we will be there. On the threat in Zamboanga, whatever sinasabi nila na sinasabi nyo walang katapusan and all that, ang sa amin lang doon, ang utos sa amin, rescue the hostages, remove the armed threat. And that we did.
So it is mission accomplished.